Legacy TV Lone Rashapi Daka Frank Motors Kajaka Dekali Gabatamai Joka Tata Motors Halatgor Ni Shillong Rinkat Bakanet Foodish Ordar Mapi Ninwan Ramani Hakir Dobying Jompi
Ringkat lang bat kapertai baro kawai ke Neigrihms Hospital Shillong hakasngi satjan jong ka arpu lai tarik ubnaya yong arajar arpu ar kala Rakhe ya ka World Hemophilia Day ha administration block jong ka Neigrihms Hospital bala penlong da ke Hemophilia Society Shillong chapter Hagani ke jing Rakhe la sakhi lang do director ke health services maternal and child health and family welfare jong ka sarkar Meghalaya ringkat director jong ka Neigrihms Hospital u Professor Dr. Nalin Mehta ki doctors but kiway.
So this is the note from Cesar Garrido, the WFH president. World Hemophilia Day is for people who have been affected by a bleeding disorder either because they have one or because they care for someone who does. But we cannot forget governments play a critical role. It's important that they recognize bleeding disorders and assist people who have a condition in their countries. So next, we'll just one-page explanation of what is hemophilia. I'll go not much into the details as we are all aware of. It is an inherited bleeding disorder where blood doesn't clot properly due to lack of or reduced amount of certain clotting factors in the blood. Hemophilia as such is of two types, hemophilia A, that is factor A deficiency, which is in the incidence or prevalence of around 1 is to 5,000 new live birth in males. Hemophilia B is factor 9 deficiency and 1 in 30,000 live male birth. So in short, the scenario in Meghalaya is we have 21 identified diagnosed patients, of which 20 are hemophilia A, 1 is of hemophilia B. The hemophilia B, 1 is of the severe kind, less than 1% factor activity, and amongst the hemophilia A's we have severe, 16 of them, who have less than 1% factor activity level, the moderate 2 numbers, mild 2 numbers, and 2 of them out of these 20, out of the 16 severe cases have already developed inhibitors. 1 was already diagnosed years ago, 1 we recently diagnosed just 2 weeks or so ago in our blood center. And no factors are available for patients for regular prophylaxis or for any on-demand or any emergency use from the government as of now, at the present moment so far in the state of Meghalaya, and thus they are a neglected lot. Even though there are just 20 or handful in number, and most of the burden of other diseases are a lot on the healthcare sector, because of the mere number, we cannot say that they are not in need of any assistance. They are in extreme need of assistance because of the condition that they require. Even from the time they are born, a few months after their birth, they start bleeding usually, and we see that they cannot have a normal life.
My son was just 1 year and half months, 1.5 years, when I came to know about this sickness. One day, while he was praying, then I don't know by he was falling off, but from the hip, he got swelling from his hip. Then we took him to PHC. Then from there, we met one doctor, and that doctor said, this is not a normal disease, so you better take him to children's hospital. We went to children's hospital on April 4th. When I reached there, then the doctor advised me to do some tests, blood tests. Then on that day, we did the test. We waited for the test. On 26th April, on that day, my body just upside down. I was so tense to see the result that my son was a severe hemophilia patient. It's a heartbreaking for me. At the moment, at that time, I was running to this future. I was thinking what will happen to him, what will happen when he is going to school. I was thinking like that. I have to tell the teachers every time that my son is a hemophilia patient, please take care of him. And every time it just has stuck in my head, what will happen to my son when he is away from me. Every time I will take him back to my home so that I can take care of him 24/7. But we cannot do that. really heartbreaking for a mother. And I know that all the mothers, all the parents, what they were facing, because myself, I was 1 week at the time, I could not sleep, I was sleepless. And I cannot imagine, I cannot accept also reality at the time, but what we do, the family, we cannot imagine, we have to accept it.
This is an important event. I've been really moved with the presence of especially the parents, patients, and I have interacted with some of them, and I've been briefed by Rutika about what's going to happen. I was really ready to see and interact with the patients and with the parents. I'm really moved by the dedication of the parents towards their children. I see the pride of them. And as a hospital and as Neigrihms, I think we have tried our best to do whatever is there. Because I know there's a need for factor 8 and 9. And I'm happy that actually today I could phantomize the need of this hemophilia disease in the state. And I'm so happy to see the Director of Health Services Adrina and Doc. And so that we can, and I'm happy to see them. And I'm sure that we'll try the best to do what is needed for them, because as the parent has just mentioned today about the plight of people going to the other state for treatment, I would see, but then I would promise that from our side we will try our very best to help them what they need. I believe they need factor 8 and 9. I believe that they need around twice a week for infuse some of this. And I really appreciate the role of Dr. Rutika, who has championed the cause of these hemophilia patients, because seeing the patient, I'm also being very moved. And that we have promised, and we have held in the month of February about the center which has been formed, which is the Hemophilia Treatment Center. I would like to really thank our director, sir, Dr. Neigrihms, for his dynamism, and seeing the need of the Northeastern region, especially in Meghalaya in particular, that many of the steps are being taken under his leadership. All these things is possible, and I'm sure our director, sir, is very moved with the patients of hemophilia and the relatives, that we will try very best to see what we could do from our institution side. And from my side, I'd like to try my level best. And I'd like to thank the government of Meghalaya for their fully supportiveness. And as Dr. Rutika has mentioned in the local address, the plight of these patients and the need to do more for these patients, I would request the governor of Meghalaya, DHS, and Madam DHMO is here with us, to let's try to do our very best, and let's pledge again today at this important day of World Hemophilia Day, to do our best to help these.
I'm happy to be associated with the commemoration of the World Hemophilia Day, wherein and we should never forget the contribution of Frank Schnabel, who founded the World Hemophilia Federation back in 58 years ago. That having been said, celebration aside, I think what we need to do is show action where we put in words. The plight of the patients of hemophilia, I mean, however much you speak about it, you can never do that justice to even begin to explain what they go through. We need to realize that with genetic disorder, wherein there is a deficiency of factor 8 and this was factor which probably will be discussed later on. And we are fortunate now that we have the factors which can be administered. But we also need to realize that apart from these treatment modalities where you can replace a factor that is deficient, we need to build a support system. That is more important. We need to build a support system for counseling the patients, the relatives, the attendants, and also at times the friends and school children where these students start studying, because they go through what I can, and they say there's a life which is not very near normal, they are protected at every stage. And these children do not have a normal quality of life. That is something we owe them. Now with the advent of science and with adequate resources with the government, on behalf of victims, as Daniel I have already mentioned, and so I will pick up, I can assure you that we will have a support system for the patients and the parents. We would also be willing to spread awareness. The awareness is required at every stage. We need it within the medical community because it is very, very sad when a patient reaches a hospital and it is not possible to make a diagnosis. Doctors do realize that easy bruisability or easy bleeding, etc. is a bleeding disorder. But once you identify that and you do not have the factors with you, where do you refer this patient? You should also guide them to referral centers. We should have SOPs, standard operating procedures. And like I said, we need a support group for these patients, maybe even networking. Now everybody has a smartphone, maybe a WhatsApp group which has the doctors and the patients. For a child to have a very normal life, children run around, they play, they get injured and they grow up. We've all done it. Imagine somebody who cannot do this. Just because every time they go out to play or have a minor injury, they get into trouble. Joint bleeds are extremely painful. Hemolysis is not something you want to see more than once. So not only do we require them to be treated, but the minute they get into a hospital, there should be a hemophilia response team, which includes an orthopedic surgeon, if it's a renal be a neurosurgeon, and we should develop models. The Department of Dentistry here, and we have talked all of it, it's very, very crucial that we look into these issues which cause trouble for our patients. So my heart goes out to the patients and the parents who've done a terrible job. And I only hope that we can keep up providing service that we've started. And most definitely, training in any way possible to enhance the efficiency of this program in terms of diagnostics as well as therapeutics would be our mandate and would be our primary objective.
Hemophilia may vary from a very mild to a very severe form, which we may see as an uncontrollable bleeding diseases. And if this is left untreated, these consequences are life-threatening. So the diagnosis is very, very important, and I think this is also, as I said, very much we are lacking the diagnosis, where even our doctors and our healthcare workers are finding it difficult to pinpoint, and so that they can, so that early diagnosis can be made on this disease. We know that there is no treatment for hemophilia, but there is no cure actually, but there are treatments that can reduce the risk of bleeding complications, especially bleeding in the brain. So there are a type of treatment is the genetically modified recombinant clotting factors for the prevention and the treatment of prolonged bleeding. And I think, Madam, we will be having these deliberations and all after. And also preventive treatment are there to reduce the frequency of bleeding. But the best way to prevent all this is through counseling. So that is where we lack also counseling before pregnancy to prevent the passing of this genetic disorder to our child. Since we know that it is a genetic or a hereditary disease. And this is where we need to spread the awareness, because many of us still do not know about hemophilia and this disorder.
Adon yung lung ba kandai sinamenta la don hikani jing stom na do porbo ni lap hikani jing stom met jong u porbo don tang prabanai porbo dang sedang ban pai porbo dang sang ban pa tu jingem ki kho siu tenang tu pede ha chabo sedang bo unia do uru jingem ken ti kalong ke ba ngi berkat ba kum ke dia ke ni ke Jepang kan ke ban haka met ke jong hadin kum tu bete dengi la ra Siapa syagahoti dan ila let dia si ingin salap baudan yang kena hemophilia bagi kon kadika blood disorder kadika blood disorder di nang tu pada sestanggen ke jing imjuni moh kimi kapa namar bangin salap pakan di Jepang ni hapo Shillong sor Meglaya state ni padon kini ka yu ka ban treat yaki di long ka jing ka ke long ru ka treatment ka barem ha nam ta jong ki injection away ukot dor do man rim nyong ha ja tingka thì cái lông cái ba năm tao cho mình cái mình bật khát cũng nổ mình biết mình biang yaki thì năng đi chắc phát rồi dan kami ke sarkar pakai nyarap yang ini kena mengilaban nomor muk lung jongi we hak apa ke disable umla ban lek kai ban mare ban mesti ko molong gi we lo ngi ki balong normal di bamdon ya kan ni ke Jepang la dangi ur ni tinghu ni bleedตั้งชิพังมีหลักกลดกันนี่ก็สนามกันบากินี่กี่คนจะมีประเดี๋ยวกินกลดเราดังยิมอาโยนี่อุนเจคชั่นอุบัติเหตุอาจารย์ในกัดประเดี๋ยวกัดดอร์มันกัดดอรูกัดดังเฮกัดบากิดังเฮกับสเนมกับจงกีกัดดอรูอุดังเกี่ยวแต่เราดังยิมอากินี่อุนี่อุนเจคชั่นกินกิมเจ็บที่ก็ลองตากันลองดันกำกันแค่จริงๆนะกุมกิมีกี่ป่ะ
คำตับกี่คาซีจงนี้กี่เคนเวทบาดากี่ดันกี่จึงท่าจังกี่ขึ้นลงกี่เกี่ยวจึงแง้มเชื่อจังกี่เคนบากระเดกะจึงปังมัดหันไรกันนี่กำได้กับจึงปังมัดนี่ได้เป็นผักเตสิกี่คนขณะมาเป็นตั้งนี่เดินคุมฮันนี่ฮัชลองนี่เดินกับเชอร์รันฮอสพิทอลนี่ได้เป็นผักเตสิกี่คนขณะมากินเต็บบากนี่กับจึงชิตอมกับได้กับฮิโมฟิเลียอันได้กับจึงแอมจองกับจึงปังมัดนางนี่บุญบางนี่ผักแคมหันไรกันนี่กับจึงปังอันได้เป็นผักแคมกี่คนและได้กี่ผักแคมกับจึงบลิดจองกี่เทียสนามคุมกับจึงออร์ไปออกนอกกันนั่งจนnak kata kadang mi kolok wa bagi kemik pa baro haba pila ibon sien bagi kun jong pi hot teng-teng ni dalam phak kem nan ngi kelan ki dawai kasi ki jam tang sipot hanrai hadin suki ka kheshi kheb yang namar itu idang long tang ka basdang anda la jor ki kun ba pri kin nong nokom no ben cha poi ne ben cha yur ki tu ki long jenjar ba do kata namar khlem ni o factor 8 ni injection klaim dan injection umlam sumana kata ikat pa iki kemek pa ba pi ba ukhlong jong pi udan kanu ke jingjingam hakanu ke benta undai nak khosil tamdai nang na jakka ba ki dan ki joy henrei na ki jakka ki bam dan joy ki ksa ki ikon jonga ikam ke ba jing pang hakiksa na kata ngi kwa bangar ngala kum bakalah ke jing im la jong ni la kum ra ya i ben lek kem henrei kat ba idang kem inang yam inang ka ang shu Henry ngi perkat ong ba dari balak thiet anda ngi la poi hospital hana seret hakatu kapor ba udang red kim patlap ba karni ka jingpang ka jing sitam ba dan kani suki ar banai utia ICU hadin nang to ni satip ba kadeka hemophilia dakila ilalap i doktor Bernard menchwa hadin nang to pat ni sayo ka jingyarap nago hati ndai nashani nama balai ngimdon kum kataka mentang ila ya le ben yo hang ni hani krem ki arab kini government ki arab kini ki doktor na po Neigrihms kat bakila henrei hadu mentang ngim patlong ki balong la biang nut ken ya yo lang baro te na kata kadang akan pat khamtam kemi pa bakin kloi ben wan shakman bakin tes ki kon haba pilap wat kan ran tin wat tin wan mi shakman ni kloi ben arab ki kum katim ni kloi banyara ben batai ben ya dan lang bat ki hakan no kapot te idawan in one shan Neigrihms rulong let ta seki hapo children hospital rulan
kani ka Jepang mata la da pi don kum kunu ka jing suba pi don ni kani ka Jepang pila balik chwa tang hapo children hospital ru i Dr. Shumi i basumari kun jangan do badang lap kani ka Jepang ning kong do mai i la ban island ben island ti ya pi shangi ke long shangi dan lecoi hai la ni wan hang ni Neigrihms ikan ini doktor tika badan apa ke blood bank ki wan hai ru ini ru insulin e gelenti kan nang ni syakmat pada ingin saya trelang